So what I'm curious about is when you worked in that recruitment work under this conglomerate that had this incubation, what was that like in terms, because this is like very early in your
Hated
career.
it.
Yeah. So what was it like seeing these startups, young companies being taken on and being supported?
You know what? It was an exciting environment as a general rule. I hated what I was doing for work and the company that I was working in and the environment that was created for me in this sort of microcosm. But to see like a beverage company, and to see an agency and to see all these other companies, couple of technology companies, that was pretty exciting. That was something that, again, like if I hadn't have had that exposure and seen what other people were working on, I don't know that I would have found my feet as quickly as I did into an industry that, I've really gravitated toward for for at least 15 years now.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like that kind of an environment is something that motivated you, and then you found your real interest area of digital marketing, and then that's where you specialize, right?
Yeah, that was, for about 10 years, I was doing everything from web design to content production, TV commercials, UX, UI work, photography, for, like you called out at the start, Sony and MasterCard, Mercedes-Benz, Medtronic. I was the largest Facebook media buyer for a couple of years there in Australia, and, did some massive things. When I moved to Los Angeles and worked with some of those companies that I mentioned in the space. And it was, very, very exciting and a lot of fun, but, really, really important stepping stones.
Yeah. So are you telling me growing up as a kid, these are the kinds of things that right now really gets you excited and you love doing? There was no connection, like there was no, like the seeds being planted somewhat?
Do you know what? It's hard to say. Like, I studied architecture and dropped out after about a year and a half. Like I would say, like, I really loved everything that was creative and design, and that was like the thing that I liked. And then after dropping out, I went into marketing and management. I would say like the continuous thread or trend throughout my career is like having that ability to have creativity and think through big vision and see how that can be brought into reality has definitely been something. Like the whole, that whole 10 years or so was coming up with concepts, big ideas and concepts, and then actually working through and managing client expectations and the projects and bringing them from idea to life. So I would say that would be, the therapy that you're unlocking for me right now.
Well, so the creativity is what appeals to you. But Yoni, I picked up something else in this conversation, that initial environment of that incubator environment where different ideas, different people working in different things is what you are doing right now yourself. So
For sure.
And of course, every one of those people, they are creating something, right? So they're creating either a product or they all have dreams. Now, nobody goes into an incubator just to sell groceries to make money, right? So they're all chasing after a dream. So that's what you wrapped yourself in. And what is admirable to me is you created exactly that as your business environment. So people always come back to their roots, I guess.
I think, I think that's definitely something that I never even considered up until this very conversation right now. But yeah, in hindsight, it's coming back to the roots and maybe some of the things that I saw, when I was in my, early 20s.
Yeah, well, Well, that's what comes out of the therapy session.
Yeah.
So
Thank you.
it's but because it's we are too close to the subject matter, and we don't really know why we do what we do. And when somebody who has nothing to do with it sees and hears, and clearly it's a different